All right, here we back in. Let's talk about this win on NAS100. All right, here we are. It's a Monday morning, a nice, beautiful Monday morning in June 15th, 2026. What we're looking at is over the last week, price kind of got into a little downtrend, which was basically a pullback on a major time frame. However, we've been bullish for like a couple months on the NAS, so my overall bias is looking for buys. So at this point, when we look at the market open on Sunday night, we clearly see that we went on an uptrend, right, with higher highs and higher lows. So I'm looking for buys when the market opens come Monday morning. So let me drop down to the 1 minute. Now I got my higher time frame buys. Let me drop down to the 1 minute. And pretty much on the 1 minute, I'm looking for my entries. The reason why it's 1 minute on the NAS, because I mean, if you're pretty much, you know, looking to do like a stop loss of 33 points on the NAS, that's like, it's a lot of pips. So price wise, it makes sense to depending on account size to be able to trade in the 1 minute or the 30 second, as long as you're paying attention to the other time frames and the market structure, right? So because I did that high probability trade at this particular point, let me do a select bar. At this particular point, what happened was I'm constantly when this thing is running up, when the market opens at 9:30, I'm constantly looking for my setup. Right, I'm looking for my setup. What it is, supply and demand. I'm waiting for on the uptrend. I'm waiting for a red candle to be printed, and I'm waiting for a green candle to engulf that red candle, and then I'm waiting for pretty much price to come in and to pretty much tap that price in. Now, if you look here, this was a really great entry here, but I missed it. Um, as you see here, this red candle got engulfed by this green candle. So once that happened, I pretty much draw the zone on the red candle. And then when price open comes back, taps me in, and you can pretty much get into a trade to go long. Get into a trade to go long. Price actually came down a little bit. That's why sometimes you want to put your stop using this strategy, put your stop loss a little lower, because you can see price can actually come down, almost stomp you out, wick out, and just completely just go to the upside, right? But I missed that particular trade. Besides, I don't really like candles printing off in my zone. So probably once the price would it came and printed that red candle, and then to print this, as soon as price would have got up here and it would went down, I probably would have just X out the trade. In fact, I think that's actually what I did. I think I actually was in this trade and I ended up getting out. But anyways, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at price, and I jumped to the 15 minute, and I'm like, we actually need a retracement at some point in time. So it doesn't make sense to actually to buy at this point. So what I did is I went to the low of the swing low. I went to the high, put a fib on it when I started to notice this bad boy started retracing. And then what I needed to happen was Charles Overson. What I needed to happen was I needed the price to actually come down to this golden zone, to the 50 or the 61% using the fib. So what happened? Price actually started retracing, came down. Now I would have got faked out by this because hey, it's going up now. It's not going to go down to the golden zone, but you really wanted to go down to the golden zone. That's pretty much my trading plan on a higher time frame. If we don't go down to the golden zone, I'm not looking for it because chances are we won't be able to actually get that once price come back here to liquidation. We want this thing to be able to continue to the 27 and 67% extensions. So basically what I'm looking at based off of also price action, I'm looking at how these candles are printing. They're very wicky at the top, which tells me buyers exhaustion. So once I saw that, I'm like, yeah, we're coming back down. Came back down. This is the lowest point here. This is a rejection candle. And not only we get that rejection candle once, we got that rejection candle twice, three times, four times, five times, six times. That's enough for me to know that this right here is a solid area of resistance. Therefore, I'm now starting to actually look for my setup. So I'm waiting on my setup. Started came down a little more, right? I didn't think it was going to come down, but my setup. The one thing about the setup is it will invalidate itself, and I'll show you here. Basically, what I'm looking for, I'm waiting. If I'm looking for buys, I'm waiting for a red candle to be printed, going in the other direction. Once that candle is printed, I'm waiting on this candle to get engulfed by a green candle. Okay, boom. it got engulfed. If you know the basically if you go into a higher time frame, you is basically you'll see two candles side by side, and the green is engulfing this red. All right, so as you see, the green is the body is engulfing the wick, looking pretty good. So I draw my zone. So all I'm doing now is I'm waiting for price to come back, touch my zone, and I enter into a trade. So what happened? Price came back, right? Open up, right? Somewhere up in here. Touch the zone, right? I think the price opened right here. Touched my zone and then went to the upside. I was able to get into a trade right here on point. And I was able to get two positions. Of course, my first TP is out of 1-to-1, pays the bills, right? Second TP, I wanted to hold to at the top here, the last high, the last 15-minute high. But once I seen price started actually, wicking out a little bit, I'm looking at to the left of data. Price started wicking out over here too. And even though we came close to the 50, the gold zone, we never actually quite touched it. So I'm like, ooh, price could actually retrace way back here and stomp me out of my break even. Because, of course, once the first entry goes to 1-to-1 TP, second entry goes to a break even, and then I let price do what it do. Really, really like a nice 1-to-3 or just take it all the way to the top. So once I saw price start actually doing that, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, let me go back, let me look on a higher time frame, 15-minute. Ooh, price never actually pulled back here. Oh boy. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see how this candle finishes. So next candle did its thing. Next candle came a little bit, started playing. Once it got right, like up here, started dropping a little bit. That's when I closed the trade for a nice 1-to-3, right? On two entries, two entries. All right, so it's pretty good trade. 1-to-3. Of course, we want to, we want like a 1-to-3, 1-to-4. All right, but hey, if you can hit those base runs every day, man, profitable trader. So let's see what happens. I got out the trade. Now I'm looking at this thing. It almost came close to stomping me out, but it didn't. And that's letting me know, like, hey, you know, um, I think price was like consolidating, but I think at this point in time, I was just like off the charts and started doing something else. But I'm seeing here this area, strong area of resistance. Now, whenever you have resistance becomes support, that's a clear indication that you're going to go up. So, I mean, once I saw something like this, if I was still paying attention and still at the computer, once I saw this red candle, um, I could have came and drew a zone here. Um, price never really. Let me see. I don't like that. I don't like to say this is an engulfing candle. That candle engulfed, but we already printed another red candle, so the zone would actually be on this small candle here. Once we print another red candle, then the other zone becomes invalidated. At least how I like to do it. And as you see, price never actually came down and tapped us in. So at this point in time, the next zone would have been this one. We made a new zone. Boom, that red candle. Got a nice clean, look at that. Beautiful engulfed. Okay, now once price opened up here, came down, tapped me in. If I was still paying attention, but at this time it's pretty much 11:05. I already got my win. I'm good. So at this point in time, let me drop it. So I'm looking at a nice 1-to-3 right here. And then what do we see? We see price go hit full TP. And then some other opportunities got printed out as well. Not really, actually. All right, and that's yeah. So that was another trade that one could have taken. Uh, so let me leave the current replay. Yeah, so that's pretty much that trade someone could have taken. So that's pretty much the win for a day. That's my strategy, and that's how I come to to pretty much get the win today. Today, the market was I would say, let me drop back out to the 15. There was no volume in the market today. Like when you think about it, like price only moved out of this entire session. I mean, we're talking 299 points, barely. We go to another, let's go to last Monday. Last Monday in market open. You see price actually move. So it was 299 points. Price came down, dropped down, all the way up. That's like 411 points. And then it went back down again. So, I mean, man, like this move right here. Let me draw a flag here. All right, so let me look on the 1 minute. So let me look at last Monday because this is very interesting. I guess it's like a trade review slash back 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 testing session. Um, oh man, that's a nice one. Not really. It's not even a 1-to-1. I mean, it's something. What time was that one? It's like 9:35. I wouldn't have took that anyways. I'll let the market air out a little bit. Now let's look at this second move here. Price came back down. Oh, this is, oh man, last week. This is beautiful. Look at that. That beautiful thing got engulfed, then price came, tapped me in, coach. Especially how that price, that seller's exhaustion, both of them wick like that. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, you could have definitely yesterday could have took it to here and got a nice 1-to-4. And how I know that I would have gotten this 1-to-4 is once price start moving up like that. Of course, my 1-to-1 already TP on that. Once price start moving up, we don't violate this trend line. So at first, I would have drew my trend line like this. And once price gave me these, I probably would have drew another trend line. Yeah, we start breaking trend lines. Beautiful trend line. So probably right around here, I probably would have this candle right here. I would have stopped it right here, knowing me. So this would have been like a nice 3.5. Or what I would have did is I would have just moved my stop loss. Um, I would have probably had my stop loss like here or here and just let it see what it do. Beautiful trade last week. Let's see what we get tomorrow.